In three, I hear echo.
Mm.
Is that you, Maurice? You got headphones in?
No.
Turn your volume down just a little bit.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good right there. In three, two, one. Hello, and welcome to episode 217 of the WrassleCast. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and I'm joined by our SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Didi Jonet.
Hey.
What's going on, friend?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, things of that nature.
Happy holidays to you as well. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Got all the gifts on putting your list.
Mm. I didn't, but pretty close. Pretty close.
Okay, okay. Well, there's Valentine's Days and birthdays and things coming up, and just because, so you can't always get everything.
It's true. Very true.
You got big plans for New Year's Eve?
I have literally no plans, and I want it to stay that way.
All right.
I'm going to be
Oh,
at home with my bottle of entree, getting my life.
sounds like hashtag Washed Chronicles.
Very much.
And tonight, we're joined by a very special guest. Of course, he is the leader of the Chill Conglomerate, none other than Mo_Reese. What's going on, Maurice?
Hey, thanks for having me. It's been a long time, kind of behind the scenes and everything.
Of course, but glad to have you back on.
No doubt.
You can follow the WrassleCast on Twitter at WrassleCast. You can follow Miss Didi Jonet on Twitter at Didi Jonet. You can follow Maurice on Twitter at Mo_Reese. You can follow myself on Twitter at Don Delarente. You can also find the WrassleCast on the CSPN.us. You can also find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, and Spotify. So, no news this week. So, we're going to go right into Monday Night Raw, Christmas Eve edition. So, this was a cool set of back-to-back nights for me, as I got to spend it old school watching wrestling with my mom at her house.
Mm-hmm.
So her commentary with color was pretty good. So everybody in the Raw cast who saw those tweets and retweeted, I appreciate it. Yeah, my mom's a trip when it comes to her wrestling. So we get the night started with Elias. He plays this tune to welcome us to the show. And basically, he tells us how much Lashley sucks. So we start off the night with Elias versus Lashley in a Miracle on 34th Street fight. No 20-minute promo.
Yes.
Well, this going to come.
So they're making some slight changes already, at least for 1 week. Elias uses a fire extinguisher on Lashley and knocks Leo through a table of cookies. Elias works over Lashley, and then he gets a bowling ball and he rolls it into his nuts. Elias unwraps a cello, he nails Lashley, and he gets the win. Elias then spills eggnog all over Leo after the match. So, Miss Didi Jonet, I know you got into the live tweet a little late, but did you get a chance to see this?
I did actually.
And your analysis would be greatly appreciated here.
It was entertaining for me. It was childish, to be sure, but anytime Elias comes out on top, I'm a big fan of. To set the stage, my nephews are with me, and I had them watching some WWE like the day before. So they looking at Leo Rush and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's the guy," and then to see him like manhandled and embarrassed, so it's just like brought a smile to my heart. But then, oddly enough, my nephews were rooting for Bobby Lashley. Like, the hell?
Well, they're probably looking at, skin tone, pro-black.
They should do matter.
Listen.
They don't know about the nuance.
They just now decided they liked the melanin at all. You know what I mean? So it's like... This would be the one where you pick wrong, but okay. I see your thought process.
My mom, she walks with Elias.
Damn right.
She was highly thrilled that Elias got over in this one. Maurice, anything you'd like to add to Elias? Well, let's talk about Lashley. Mr. Anwar Starwin was talking about how, I was making overtures about some of these guys and he wished that they would meet me in real life so they could have choice words. And I was just like, hey, we all know Bobby Lashley looks like he's doing Hammer cosplay.
Well, why is the focus on his backside? That's the whole thing. I'm confused with that.
When did he become the Almighty? When did that happen?
My main concern is Leo Rush. Like I saw him last year in the indie show, and he was wrestling Flip
Flip Gordon.
The indie guy Flip that be on Cody and them show and everything.
Yeah, Flip Gordon. Flip
Gordon.
Flip.
So I'm just like they had a great match, and then he got signed to WWE. I'm thinking like, okay, he might, NXT cruiserweight, and he's just his lackey, and I'm like, dude, that's a waste of wrestling talent right there. But I guess never gets you on television Monday nights and everything. But
this probably would have been the role for Enzo, but he went and tricked that off. So they had to find somebody that kind of almost fit the bill.
Well, Enzo's trying to crash events and everything, but that's a different story for another time.
For sure. Next up, we have the new Raw Tag Team Champions, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, defending their titles against The Revival. Gable hits the Chaos Theory for a 2 count. Dawson then tags in. They trade pin attempts. Dash tags in, and double teams follow for a 2 as Bobby Roode makes the save. Bobby Roode takes out Dash, allowing Gable to cradle Dawson for the win. During the replay, Graves says it appears the champions pinned the wrong man.
Oh, well.
So it looks like we're going to have a rematch coming up because the Revival are going to have a clear grievance.
Mm-hmm.
So at least big things are popping for the Revival. They're not losing to the Lucha House Party. So
that was really annoying me as well. Like those couple of weeks, Lucha House Party rules. I'm like, are you serious?
So things are looking up for the Revival in the new version of Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre says that he's going to beat these geeks, and by these geeks he means Finn Balor and Dolph Ziggler, and then he's going to win the Royal Rumble and he's going to main event for WrestleMania. Now, Ms. Dee Jonay, how much validity and facts do you put into these statements?
Listen, not much, but you never know. But it's not my preference.
So we have a triple threat match between Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, and Dolph Ziggler. We get a super kick by Dolph. Balor then hits a double stomp, and he dumps McIntyre to the outside. We get the John Woo to Dolph, and then the double stomp by Finn finishes it off, and Finn Balor is victorious. After the match, Drew McIntyre yells at Dolph Ziggler, but then Dolph catches him off guard with the zigzag. Maurice, Dolph Ziggler seems to stand tall at the end. Finn Balor got the win, and Drew McIntyre was protected. So who do you think's got the best future between Finn and Drew McIntyre? Who do you think would get the Universal title first?
I would have to go with Drew.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting that up.
Like the favorite and everything, but Drew McIntyre has really reinvented himself, since coming back to the main roster. And, it's right now, it's like, they focusing on Finn. Finn's getting a lot of wins. And I think it's just going to be a back and forth like those two, to see who's going to be that person who gets to that next level, the challenge, whoever's going to be the Universal Champion come probably WrestleMania, something like that. But I'll definitely have to go with Drew McIntyre.
Vince McMahon, he's dressed up as Santa Claus. He gives Didi Jonay and what she's wanted all year long in a big old present with a big old bow. He says that the women's tag team titles are coming.
I got a grievance about that too.
Okay.
Why you mentioning that after you mentioning John Cena returning? So both shows. Like, you want to talk burying the lead? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Oh, so annoying.
On a side note, we'll give a shout out to WrassleBay Angelina, who was at the MSG show, the holiday show, and she caught John Cena's hat when he threw it in the crowd.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, so congrats to her. So Vince also announces that next week that Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre will face each other in a steel cage match. If they can have a steel cage match half as good as Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano had on NXT, then this will be a really good Raw main event next week.
I watched that too with the nephews. Sickening. Oh my God.
Yeah. Man.
My nephew was like, I don't understand why he can't just walk out of the door. I was like, oh, well, baby, that's not good. That's not a good match. You got to make it interesting.
Right. You can't just walk out and say, okay, I won. No, you have to sell it.
Yeah, it was great.
It was.
Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon, they face off against Mickie James, Dana Brooke, and Alicia Fox. Sasha Banks hits a really mediocre looking Meteora.
Awful.
Moon flies in with an eclipse on Alicia Fox. Bayley tags in. We get a backstabber from Sasha Banks. That leads right into the Bayley to belly. And Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon are victorious. Then the Riot Squad, they attack post-match, and they lay out Sasha, Bayley, and Ember. Hasn't been the best month here for Sasha in ring. She hadn't looked the smoothest because that Meteor was bad. Real bad. But Sasha Banks and Bayley. So now they're going to be the clear-cut tag team champions because they broke up our other team of Naomi and Asuka.
I know.
Yeah.
Unless they just give Asuka everything and just let it switch real quick, which I'm not mad at. Like, let her get that title. Let her drop this. Let the man get her title back. Everybody gets what they deserve.
Mm-hmm. Paul Heyman comes out. He sings his special version of Silent Night, talking about Brock beating Braun. He then introduces himself and reminds us that Brock will defend against Braun at Royal Rumble. Heyman then tells a story about a baby monster who wanted a replica title, but now he wants the real thing. Heyman says that won't happen at the expense of Brock. All Braun will get is a lump of coal. Braun arrives, no sling, but his arm is still wrapped up. Heyman begs off with holiday wishes while Braun decorates him as Rudolph. Braun tells Heyman to go tell Brock that he'll be 100% at the Rumble and Brock will get these hands. Paul Heyman, still the best in the business. Didi, did you notice that Braun looked a lot slimmer?
No, I don't like that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe when you see him, if he comes back out on Monday, or if you go back on YouTube and watch it, yeah, it looks like he's been working out pretty hard since he hadn't been on TV. Are you interested, Maurice, in the main event for the Royal Rumble?
Well, Braun and Brock.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
don't lie.
I mean, ever since they put the title back on Brock, and I'm just like, what's the purpose of me even paying remotely attention to it? if they're not going to put the title on Braun or anything like that.
I'm just trying to gauge interest for that particular match. I think people have so much more interest in the women's division in all forms and fashions right now.
Oh, I mean, Becky Lynch, hello, the man. they turned the corner with their story, with their program and everything. So, with the Universal title not really being on TV, it's like we really don't care. It's like it's back to what the most of 2018 was. We had no Universal Champion on TV, so what was the purpose of just us really paying attention to that title? It's like it's not there.
All right. Speaking of women's division, Ronda Rousey faced off against Natalya for the Raw Women's title. Natalya hits the rolling lariat and then gets 2 count. Ronda Rousey fights off the sharpshooter and she hits the Piper's Pit, but Natalya counters the armbar and she gets the sharpshooter. Ronda Rousey fights. She rolls out of the sharpshooter. She does get the armbar, and Natalya taps immediately. And the champ retains. So, Dee Dee, I wish you were here last week to tell me what you thought about these two going into this match, facing off against each other. With Ronda never being there for the many ass whippings that Natalya caught at the hands of the Riot Squad. But Natalya always being there to help when Nia Jax and Tamina looked like they were going to. Ronda.
Yep.
What it boils down to is Natty is a good friend, Ronda is not, and looking a little sad during the match doesn't automatically make you a good friend because you're not. You know what I mean? And she can try to be the poor little tink, and I had to put an armbar on my best friend. If you were that good of a wrestler, you could have managed to find a different way to beat your friend, but you're not. So.
I'm over Ronda Rousey matches. I mean, it was been fine. She's a special attraction, but she has the title, so now she's being forced on my eyes Monday nights and at pay-per-view.
Like, I like her fine now. Like I'm not as personally insulted as I used to be that she was around. I still vaguely am that like you're giving her a match against the person who trained her. So technically your theory is she's better than the person who trained her like 8 months ago. And I'm like, really? But sure. I'll go with it. It's just silly. It doesn't do anything for me. I want to get to Becky beating her ass.
Yeah.
Or, like I'd rather just get there.
Heath Slater. He takes on Jinder Mahal.
He's got kids.
Lots of them.
I love the t-shirt and the pants.
I wonder if he had a good Christmas.
I'm sure they all did. All 18 of them had a great time.
Yeah, like a Rainbow Coalition of kids.
Jinder Mahal attacks right away, taking early control. Then Santa Claus arrives. He throws out gifts. Heath Slater makes the comeback, but the Sings run in for the disqualification. Santa hits the ring, and he makes the save. Santa then gores Jinder Mahal, and it's a Christmas miracle as Santa is revealed to be Rhino. So Heath Slater got his wish as he was in the video package asking what he wanted for Christmas, and it was for his best friend Rhino to get his job back. So it looks like Rhino may be back.
Did we get to the point where Alexis told everybody about her Christmas list?
You can go ahead and let everybody in on what Alexa Bliss asked for Christmas on her Christmas.
Well, Alexa let various people in and let have, but the main highlight was that she wished for Ronda Rousey to have better makeup teams because it's a mess. As evidenced by what I said, Jade said, everybody on the hashtag said. Even Alexa notices. And even Alexa wants better for Rhonda.
And that's why Alexa Bliss is the standout that she is. Because her pettiness runs deep.
Mm.
And she's not afraid to express it.
It was great. Because her makeup is terrible. And then, like, she gets in all those chokeholds and her face turns like a pale pink kind of pale. But her body isn't that color. And it's like, where is your melanin? Why do you look like that? So, yeah, I enjoyed it greatly.
She had like warrior makeup on.
It's like, I don't even know how to explain what happens to her face, but it's abnormal and it's a little disconcerting.
Like you see the red, and it's just be like this certain areas of her eyes. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's very it's
Who's back
odd.
there and who's back there green lighting this?
That's what I want to know. It's like, did you do your makeup? Did they do your makeup? Or did you tell them you wanted your makeup that way? Because some of these might be your fault, or they just don't like you. And I would like to know what the answer is. Because it's only one of two things. Either you wanted it that way or they don't like you. What is it?
It is Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins because it's main event time. Seth Rollins sets, but Baron Corbin counters a blackout into the deep six for a 2 count. Baron Corbin then takes Rollins up top and he follows him up. But Rollins slides out and then he hits an enziguri. Rollins avoids a charge. Corbin runs into the post and Seth Rollins hits the blackout and Seth Rollins gets the win. And that concludes this week's Monday Night Raw. So, Miss Didi Jonay, did you make it to the end?
Did I make it to the end? I think I did.
Been a rough 2 weeks here for Baron Corbin.
Good. He needs to go away.
So you're over the bald head. You can't.
It was great, but like being bald was great, but that didn't make him great. You know what I mean? Like you can't conflate the two.
Gotcha.
It's not the same thing. Having a good makeover doesn't mean I actually want to see you on my screen for 45 minutes every Monday.
Maurice, did you enjoy this week's Monday Night Raw? What would you give it as a rating?
Ooh, out of what?
We'll go 5 this week.
Oh, 3 out of 5.
Okay. Miss Didi Jonay, your thoughts?
A 4 out of 5, but two of that is like my nephew's making it even more entertaining. like the in-person commentary was lit, but like, you know, yeah, not really a 4, but like a 4 for me for Christmas.
I'll give it a 3.5 right in the middle of you two because it was the same thing on my end. I had great live commentary to go along with it to make it a little bit more entertaining than it probably actually was.
Mm-hmm. It's always the commentary that makes it much better. The outside commentary or the hashtags and everything that makes it better to watch the shows.
Right. So since this is our last show of 2018 officially, if you guys can think of one, just one or two standout moments from Monday Night Raw. So Miss Didi Jonay, I'll start with you first.
You mean from the whole year? Or
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wasn't that Raw when Becky Lynch beat up Ronda Rousey? Yeah, it was.
It sure was.
Highlight of my life. Bam. That's great.
Maurice, you got something that stands out to you from Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, it definitely had to be Becky taking out the whole women's roster and then getting her nose broken in the process, getting a concussion, and still finishing off the whole attack. And then talking shit on social media after that too. Like how you let somebody else come from SmackDown onto your main show and just run over everybody.
Yeah, it was definitely a standout moment. I probably would pick Roman coming out and announcing that he can't wrestle due to his battle with leukemia. That would be one. And there's another one I thought. Oh, when the whole Saudi Arabia thing and the crowd like turning against it on that one show
Mm.
Oh yes.
where they just were not feeling anything that had to do with Crown Jewel. And it was like, whoa, this is pretty. It's pretty intense. So
Yeah. Let me find out the universe is woke. Oh, you know
right.
what else I like? That one day that Elias like had the whole city against him.
Oh yeah, Seattle.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
You mentioned the Supersonics, right?
Right,
Hmm.
No,
right.
still sore subject for those residents there.
So once you listen to this, if you have some moments that we didn't cover for Raw and that you thought were some standout moments for 2018, hit us up on Twitter at WrassleCast or at Don Delarente. And we'll retweet those and let everybody see your thoughts as well. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Edie Jonet for our hashtag SmackDown Matters report.
Yeah. All right. They're in a place where
Sacramento.
there you go. I was gonna say where ain't nobody crying and ain't nobody worried. But yeah, Sacramento. R-Truth and Carmella come out as Santa and his little helper. He says they've been making deliveries and have to make a special stop at SmackDown. On the way back, as the reindeers is tired, he names them. Well, he tries to. He ends up naming all the Jacksons instead, like Tito, Marlon, Jermaine, Randy, etc., etc. Hopefully, he mentioned Reby too. Daniel Bryan arrives to play the Grinch. He says he should be with his family, but instead he's here. He won't accept his farce, but this isn't the real Santa, and unbeards the truth. Is it because he's black? He's here to expose the real Santa. He's the top of cheap material desires, which is eroding the coral reefs and made islands of garbage in the ocean. I just saw Aquaman. That's half what that's about. It causes the glaciers to melt, the seas to rise, and that will lead to no North Pole and no Santa. R-Truth calls Daniel Bryan an angry elf. Big facts. And Daniel Bryan calls Truth's whole career a joke. Yikes. Hurtful. Sad. Truth says he's going to win the Royal Rumble at 30, because that's his number, and maybe after he wins, he'll take the title from Daniel Bryan, if he's still champion. Bryan says Truth can't even count to 30, which is rude, but also probably accurate. He tries, and then they do a dance break. Daniel Bryan attacks. He works over Truth's knee, chop blocks, locks on the heel hook. He then stomps away at R-Truth and applies the heel hook again. So mean.
Isn't he?
Such a Grinch.
An environmentally conscious Grinch, though.
I
Pretty much.
but listen, that's really what Aquaman was about. So basically, he's just King Orm. It's okay.
You think he maybe got like a screener and was like, "Oh yeah,
Yo,
that could be my
maybe.
that could be my heel persona."
Yo, when Captain Planet comes out, he's got his whole shit on lock. It's gonna be amazing. All right. Next is Mustafa Ali, 2 weeks on the main roster versus Cien Almas. Almas counters in something into the tree of woe and double stomps for a 2 count. He sets Ali up top and almost counters the sunset bomb. He misses the charging knee, and Mustafa hits the tornado DDT, and then he hits the impressive imploding 450 splash for the win.
Did
How
he
did
land
we?
this time correctly?
You mean by not hitting Daniel Bryan in the face with his knee?
Right.
Okay, yeah,
I'm just wondering because last week it was just like, oh, that was not look good at all.
yeah. He almost took out the golden goose.
Oh well.
Even at
Almost
the
doesn't
very
count.
end.
Your thoughts, Miss Didi Jonay, about Mustafa Ali being added to your show full time?
I'm fine with it. I feel like he's a good person. He's a great wrestler, besides the accidental knee to the face and things. Maybe King Orm said some things in the back and Mustafa had to let him know shit ain't sweet. I don't know. I don't know what they go through. But yeah, I like him. He's
Okay.
a Chicago boy. You know, I got family up there. That's nice. It's wonderful.
As long as you approve, then he can stay.
Oh yeah, I approve. It ain't like he's another Baron Corbin or nothing. He'll put his work in. And also, it's SmackDown. We know what to do with our people.
Oh,
Bleep.
I said what I said. Actually, they ain't doing all that great by seeing Almas. But other than that, oh Angel. But still, 20 out of 22 ain't bad. Any hoodle. Samoa Joe cuts a promo on Jeff ahead of their match tonight, brings up his real life demons and claims that he's just new addiction. But he'll take care of that tonight. Then the New Day arrives to do commentary on the tag match. They have a special commentary table as well as Christmas pancakes.
Now, hold on.
Yes.
Unfortunately, as the like leader of the Glow
Yes.
and the Big E fan committee,
Yes.
he was doing too much, and I can't believe you missed it.
I did. I
This
don't.
man was coming out here, baby oiling himself.
Oh.
My mother almost had a fit.
Uh,
What in the world? Just look at them acting silly.
yes.
They don't need to be doing all that.
Baby
They don't need
oil.
to be doing all that. They don't need to do that to whip nobody. Those were her.
Big E afraid.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
nasty. He real
So,
nasty.
so unfortunately, Dee Dee Jonay, you that was your Christmas present from Biggie.
Mm, that might have been for the best. Have the nephews around. Need to keep them as innocent as they can.
Okay.
I don't need to see them thrusting with some baby oil on. That's too much.
She's like, oh no.
I would have liked to have seen it, but gotta take the good with the bad. Okay, the tag match is the Usos, Gallows and Anderson versus The Bar and Sanity. Not Eric, the other two. So it breaks down. The Bar hits a double team white noise on Gallows, but the Usos make the save. There's some super kicks by the Usos, and the Good Brothers hit the Magic Killer on Cesaro for the win. How did we feel? Did we like it?
One time for the Good Brothers. It's good to see them get some wins here. It was a super kick party. Shout out to the Young Bucks in the middle of this match. So,
Nice.
and Killian Dane, one day he's gonna be a super duper star once he breaks away from sanity. If he can talk at all, he's gonna be really good.
Something to look forward to. Next, Mustafa Ali walks and gets congrats from the 205 Live guys. Shelty arrives, and he's not impressed. Then Daniel Bryan attacks and beats the shit out of Mustafa Ali.
So
Captain Planet
mean.
would not approve.
Do you think like Daniel? Shelton
Mhm.
Benjamin was like the setup man?
Yes. Because, every bad guy has a henchman. So he would be like Black Manta. Yeah, it all works. It's all an Aquaman allegory. It's great.
I'm convinced he had a screener.
Listen, if you've seen Aquaman, it all fits together. Mm. Anywho, though, Miz welcomes us to the show and brings out Shane. Miz welcomes him and asks him about the changes to SmackDown. Shane says they're listening and are making changes that the fans want. Miz praises Shane, kisses some ass, and asks him if they can form the best tag team in the world. He says he proved himself last week and says, "Can I have it?" Shane says, "Yes, you were successful." Miz says that the reason he wants to tag with Shane is because it's about his dad. What? He's been in WWE 10 years and has a ton of accomplishments, but his dad has never told him he's proud of him. You men and your parental issues. He said he does everything for his dad and wonders if it will ever be enough. Mrs. Dad thought Shane was impressive when he won the Best in the World tournament. No, he didn't. Miz says his dad would be proud of he and Shane if he and Shane actually tagged. And that is why Miz has done all of this. I don't mean to call Miz a liar, but he's lying. Miz says he's sorry he brought Shane into this and pulls the fans about it. The fans want it. Shane says he understands. Better not screw me over, and then agrees to team with the Miz. Because if anybody understands daddy issues, it's Shane O'Mac.
Yeah, he could definitely appeal to his. My daddy never told me I was good enough side.
Mm. Daddy didn't love me. Remember that from Austin Powers?
Yeah.
It's all movies. I see the through line in it all. Next, Jeff Hardy versus Samoa Joe. Things be happening. Jeff heads up top. Joe rolls to the floor. Jeff follows Joe and hits the apron clothesline. Jeff follows with repeated knee strikes on the outside. The ref calls it off. Jeff tosses Joe over the announce table, but Joe locks on the coquino clutch and chokes him out.
If you come at Samoa Joe, you best not miss.
Yeah. Samoa Joe is like that guy who be fighting because he just want to fight. I just want to hurt people. This seemed like a great way to do it.
He's got to get the title this year.
I hope so. They should not waste his talents and his anger on shenanigans.
This is so true.
Yeah. Next week, there's going to be a new day, New Year's celebration. And John Cena's returning. I still don't understand why he gets to do both. You need to pick Raw. You need to pick Raw. I don't want you on my team.
You pick Raw.
You just need to pick Raw.
There's no option for SmackDown.
Go on over there with your 3 hours. Go on over there with your 3 hours. Tell them all about your Bumblebee movie and whatever else you're doing with your life. Stay on over there. Nikki ain't working, so you don't need to go stalk her over here. Go back over there. I'm serious. I don't want him on my team. Anyway, so the Usos walk and talk. Jimmy is left alone.
Oh yeah.
Shenanigans. I
Talk
saw
about
this.
it. Talk about it.
Jimmy's left alone, and Mandy Rose pops up out of nowhere. She's like, "Ooh, look at that! We're under the mistletoe." And he's like, "Lies." And then Naomi's like, "No, bitch, I want you." And throws a shoe at her. And Jimmy's like, "Girl, you don't got to do all that. Ain't nobody think about that beach blonde bimbo." And she's like, "I'm going to snatch her bald. I don't think you're aware of this. I just want to let you know." And he's like, "Don't worry about all that. We under the mistletoe now. Let's give a little kissy kiss." And they made it nice. But
The way she came in on screen and threw that shoe.
I'm trying to tell you, at some point the line of joking and work and shoot has been blurred a little bit because I think she put a little extra sauce on that shoe
Oh, she
toss.
did. That was some black girl magic right there.
Like it was about to hook. What's it called? In okay, movie reference. In Salt, not Salt, whatever that movie was where they had to bend a bullet.
Oh, bullet time.
The one with Angelina Jolie and the other guy where they had to bend the bullet around somebody. She tried to bend the shoe around the corner to get the Mandy Rose. And it almost worked too.
She, yeah, I don't think, according to some things that I've heard, they don't have the best relationship on the roster.
I'm sure of that.
I could see how that would happen.
So it could, a little bit of personal here and there makes for an extra spicy program. And I think that's what we're seeing from Naomi.
Hopefully she hit her with the good Dakota. I just don't like you. Never gets old. Anyway, Shinsuke versus Rusev. There's a Kinshasa to the back of the head for 2. Nakamura sets for another Kinshasa, but is countered. Rusev nails Nakamura with the lariat. There's a Mashka kick. And why do they don't say "Suck it, Knock America"? It's a Rusev Day 1 in America. Once again, we have a new champion. Is somebody excited?
I just like making you read, thinking in some things and making you read them.
It's the fact that it's like all caps. It's like, "Suck it, Knock America." Oh, I cackle. Rusev deserves. I'm happy about it. How do you feel?
Oh yeah, it's been brewing ever since him and Aiden were doing the thing, and they didn't get the tag team titles.
Yeah, they deserved as well. And actually, Nakamura deserves more too. But
it was like dueling chants for a minute. It was like they was chanting Nakamura and they was chanting Rusev. So even though Nakamura's a heel, they still love him. The fans still love him.
Yeah, Nakamura ain't a heel. Nakamura just does what he want to do.
This was a good match too.
It was. And also, Also, with the airing of SmackDown, it was Rusev's actual birthday, so
It's amazing. Okay,
Yeah,
next.
really.
For the last moment of the night, AJ meets with Vince, and Vince asks him his name. AJ introduces himself, but Vince asks why he isn't competing. Vince wants to see the real AJ Styles and accuses him of becoming complacent. Vince fires him up and says if AJ can channel that, he can run wild on the locker room. First of all, he's on John Cena protocol. He ain't lost in 8 months. What else do you need?
Plus,
And
he introduced himself as the face that runs the place, which we all know is wrong.
the face that rents the place from Becky Lynch, who has an actual loan to run the place from me, is really how that works. That's how that works. Because now, if Becky want to say, I'm the face that runs the place, I'm going to be like, you got it.
yeah,
You
that should
ain't wrong. You ain't wrong right now. But AJ, psh. Anyway, Vince says that he wants to see the animal unleashed within AJ, and he slaps him. And because as much as I don't particularly care for AJ Styles, he ain't no bitch. So he lays out Vincent and the agents, and the refs have to make the save. And Vince is happy because Vince likes it rough. And that is how his SmackDown for the weekend did. Your last SmackDown of the year.
Now, what would be your rating for this particular SmackDown, Miss DDJ?
I didn't see it all, but I'm going to be judicious and just say 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maurice, same scale, 5 out of 5.
I'll give this a 4, all because of the main event and Naomi trying to take Mandy Rose's head off. And also, I like the open segment with Daniel Bryan and R-Truth. Well, Truthy Claus.
I'm sleeping downstairs.
So I give it a 4 based off of those 3.
All right. Yeah, I'd do the same thing, man. Strong 4.5. The main event was really, really, really good. Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy shot a nice angle. That tag team match was really exciting as well. So another strong effort from SmackDown. So have to give them their props each and every week because they always deliver. You know where you can also deliver, and that's by supporting our sponsors over at CSPN.us. I know everybody's got all this holiday money, gift cards, and things that are just burning their pockets. So head over to CSPN.us, click on Keep Our Podcast Free tab at the top of the page, select one of our sponsors, do your shopping as you normally would. Some of your purchase will come back to us, and it'll help keep the podcast free each and every week right here on the CSPN. So we're going to go talk about some NXT to wrap up. Oh, before I move off from SmackDown, Miss DeJournay, do you have a SmackDown happening of the year for the whole year? A moment or two?
I can't recall any. I feel like there must have been something in relation to what happened the day after Becky Lynch invaded. Other than that, I don't know that there's anything that stands out immediately to my mind the way that Becky's invasion of Raw did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maurice, you got anything?
Wasn't the Becky and Charlotte match on SmackDown for the title that she won the title on?
No, she won no, she made the turn at SummerSlam. So yeah, it might have been on SmackDown. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They had the match for the title and everything. That was a pretty good match. It was probably a bunch of other stuff that happened, but right now it's not coming to my head as to what went on SmackDown. But I've been pretty much tuning to SmackDown, for most of the year and everything. So it could be a lot of things.
Mine would be Samoa Joe fucking with AJ Styles and his family.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Talking about save me a plate at the cookout and all that. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be my standout moment from SmackDown this year. So, again, if there are some standout moments from SmackDown that have, on your mind, please share them with the WrassleCast on Twitter. So, we'll move into NXT, and we're going to start off hot as we're going to have the number one contenders match in the women's division. We have Bianca Belair versus Io Shirai versus Lacey Evans versus Mia Yim. Lacey Evans throws Io outside, and Mia hits Lacey with a series of kicks. Lacey ducks a kick, and then she hits the women's right. Io breaks up the pin just in the nick of time. We get a right hand and a body slam by Io. Io climbs and delivers the moonsault, but Bianca uses her hair to whip Io and interrupt the pin. We get the alley-oop bomb by Bianca, which drops Io onto Mia on the outside. Bianca then hoists Lacey up and hits the KOD, and Bianca Belair gets the win, and she is going on to NXT TakeOver Phoenix to face Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. So she's still undefeated, and she's going for the title.
The icon, yes.
Oh, time.
Oh, so happy. Y'all know how I feel about Binky. Y'all know I think she is like the future of all the futures of everybody. There's nothing she can't do. So, I wish I could be beside Didi Jonay if she wins this title from Shayna Baszler.
I'm going to be so obnoxious.
Now, do you think that they are priming her to be the top of NXT with the women's division?
Yeah. 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 Because I think
her, because she has it.
Because they can't get to this 4 horsewomen thing or this big 3-way tag team match with Dakota Kai, Io Shirai, and Kairi Sane if they keep having Shayna have the title. She's got to drop the title so she can get into that mix.
Right.
So this may be the point where they give it to Bianca. It would be awesome if they did. Like I said, I just like to be wherever Didi was when this match takes place and she won. Just so I know those comments would just be off the chart. Next up, Jackson Riker with the Forgotten Sons versus Mitch Taravana. Riker hits the hot shot on the top rope, followed by a double axe handle. We get the rebound power bomb, and Jackson Riker gets the win. The Velveteen Dream. He has a vignette. He says he has all this talent, and he is this good at just age 23. The video is focused on how he's constantly stealing the show, and it included the praise he's gotten from all the legends within the WWE. Backstage, Tommaso Ciampa says he always delivers on a promise. Last week proved that Johnny Gargano had been listening to his gospel each week, and he followed his lead. It led to Gargano pinning Aleister Black. In Ciampa's mind, Johnny should get an opportunity. Maybe an opportunity at the North American title, since the NXT title match at TakeOver is already busy. TakeOver could end with Ciampa as NXT champion and Gargano as North American champion. The possibilities are endless. Tommaso Ciampa is just on another level when it comes to the heel life. People just they could learn from that man. There's so much they could learn from that man.
I mean, from social media to promos to this in-ring ability and just telling the story. He just, every time he has a match, I'm just like, do not talk to me. I'm watching a legend right here.
Yeah, he doesn't even use like the normal avenues for his promos. Like he rarely does like in-ring promos anymore. Every once in a while, he'll do like an in-ring promo, but most of the time he's doing his kind of like self-made kind of, what's the Survival of New York type of promo where he's just talking into the camera by himself. So pretty cool stuff.
I love how he adds people on Twitter. He doesn't put the at symbol. He just puts the word at and then puts their name on it. That's genius right there.
Main event time. The Undisputed Era are defending the NXT Tag Team Championships against Heavy Machinery. Roddy superplexes, Otis for a 2 count. Otis fails at fighting off the champs, who sandwich him with a high kick and a forearm. That only gets a 2 count, though. Roddy keeps Trevor Knight at bay with a drop kick. We get a total elimination, and Undisputed Era get the win. So they retain their titles. Really good main event. Basically, the last match for Heavy Machinery. They got their tag team match against Undisputed Era. They get the L, and they'll be moving up to the main roster at some point, probably during the Royal Rumble or around the Royal Rumble. I doubt they'll interject anybody in the next coming weeks, but you never know because we are in the midst of a new Monday Night Raw and a new, regime change and shake up for all the shows. So, Miss Didi Jonay, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this last week. How do you feel about being the authority? How do you feel about the new promised changes and new approach that they are taking to Raw and, unfortunately, SmackDown as well?
Lies. You can't tell me that we're going to have new changes and then you tell me that John Cena is going to be on Raw and SmackDown. Like, it's the same thing. That's what it always was. Brock Lesnar still is only going to show up quarterly. We're going to get Paul Heyman monthly to make it right in our spirits. You're going to give the titles to somebody I don't like. You're still going to have a 3-hour Raw. What else is going to be the same?
Well, they have done good with cutting it down. It's going off at 11 o'clock.
That was predicated upon USA. That wasn't anything they chose to do.
We're trying to give you this overages. So
USA was like, overages for what? For who? To do what with? And your show is how many hours? 3? And you're going over why? No good reason? Okay, well, that's over. We've had a good 2 decades of it.
2 hours, y'all can run for 3.
Listen, there's nothing going on Raw that it need to be 3 hours and 5 minutes. Come on. Honestly. But yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to see changed in 2019, Maurice, that would be within reason that the company could actually do that you like to see?
Honestly, we have a lot of great talent on the roster, and it would just be nice just to see them do something with them. Like Apollo Crews shouldn't be at the point where at the place where he's at on the roster. If you got Bobby Lashley up there flexing abs and doing whatever he's doing, he should be running roughshod over the competition as well. But those glass ceilings for black wrestlers in the WWE, I've said that quite often. And it was just, you have superstars who's, just give them a chance, do something. Probably get a TV title or something like that. I don't know. It's just so depressing. Just you see the same people in and out. And it's like, certain people are all good at what they do, but you have other people who's back there who can wrestle as well too. So, that whole give a chance initiative they did for the women, well, we don't go there about that. That worked for them. Just, more superstars who's basically in the background, just give them a push to the front. And that's how I see it.
All right, Miss Didi Jonay. I know you would like 3-hour Raws, but we can't get that realistically. So anything else? We got your tag team women's title. So anything else that you'd like to see in 2019?
Less John Cena. No John Cena.
Well, we probably won't see him this couple of weeks because he got a movie shooting that he started in January. So,
well, then why don't you just stay gone? Oh my God. No
Vince.
Bellas. Who else don't I want to see? I want to see Ronda drop that title because she's old news. I'm over it. Becky's more important and more impressive and more influential and better at commentary and better at shit talking, which is embarrassing, but that's none of my business. Um, what else do I want to see? I want to see Naomi and Asuka with the tag titles. If I can get that, then I'll be happy.
All right, so that's our hopes and dreams for 2019. So, Miss Didi Janae, I'll turn it over to you for your final shout outs of 2018.
Oh, okay. Shout out to my nephews because they've been with me for the week and they're adorable little children. We watched the 40-man Royal Rumble. We did. So that was interesting. And then we watched NXT. That was lit. Trying to get them into more people, trying to let them know, no, sweetheart, Ronda Rousey's not supposed to be your favorite female wrestler. Let's work on that. Then he's like, oh, I really like Natasha. Who's Natasha, baby? The black girl. Naomi? Yeah, Naomi. Yeah, I'm gonna need for you to know her name. So we're working on it. But shout out to them. Shout out to my brother. His birthday is the same day that this will be uploaded. Shout out to the ladies of Glow, Jade. Shout out to FNA because she got a video of Finn Balor and his crotch is all up in that camera. Yes, God. It's amazing. Shout out to Don. Shout out to Sam, Greg, of course, Mo, and the chairman, and Mel, because Mel always gets shout outs. And I think that's it.
All right. Mo_Reese. Shout outs and thank you, sir.
Thank you, you, Dawn and Didi, for having me on. Shout out to everyone who be in these hashtags. Shout out to the people who try to hijack the hashtags and trying to swerve to different little things that we doing on Twitter. I be seeing them, I be like, get out of here with that bullshit. Shout out to Giggles. I told her I was gonna be on here tonight, and she said she's gonna tune in and check this out. And shout out to days off of work. And,
okay.
and not coming back until after New Year. I'll see you in 2019.
Okay. Big fucking facts.
Big facts. That's it for me.
All right. I'd like to just thank everybody who listened to an episode, used the hashtag, interacted with myself, Didi, Sam, Greg, the WrassleCast Twitter at any point in 2018. We definitely appreciate it. We couldn't have done it without you. It's been so much fun this year. So I just want to thank everybody who has had any interaction or contact with the WrassleCast. We definitely appreciate it. And we're looking forward to bigger and better things in 2019. Looking forward to get a chance to get back with Sam after the holidays so he can give us his rawcast reviews and his insight as only he can. Give a big shout out to Jay to the Max doing her thing out in the world, hoping that her Chicago Bears can shock the world and be this year's Super Bowl champions. So
whoa. Don't do that.
Well, a girl has her dreams, and that's her dream. So shout out to her. Shout out to Angelina, aka FNA, for her time at the MSG show.
Hear about the picture that they had of the faces at the top of the ramp?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, it was a great picture. It was like all the faces at the top of the ramp just looking down at the ring. It was a great shot.
It was almost as good as that picture of all the black young talent in NXT. I don't know if y'all saw that. It was like they was at Disney World or something, Universal or something. And it's like Binky, the Street Profits. It's like Lacey Lane, Mia Yim, Keith Lee, Cedric Alexander's wife. Monroe Jenkins. Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Oh man, see, we got talent.
Yeah, Velveteen Dream, can't forget he was back there, Velveteen Dream. So yeah, it was pretty dope. It's a really, really dope picture. So yeah, shout out to all the black wrestlers coming up in 2018 and made a headway and going into 2019. It's just like I said, thanks to everybody who also dealt with the CSPN through our transition in 2018. So big shout out to Classic for all that he did for the network this year. So thank you to everybody who's had anything to do with the CSPN this year. I greatly appreciate your support. Couldn't have done it without you. So for my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Didi Jonay, for our special guest, Mo_Reese, I'm Don Delarente, and this has been episode 217 of the WrassleCast. Please stay tuned for the parting promo. All right, folks. I thank you very much.
No problem. So, Don, what you think Cody and them going to do in 2019?